Welcome everybody to another episode of Sasquatch with the Soul Patch, where we discuss Bigfoot's alternative lifestyle, living in rural Portland as a beatnik. Wait, nope. Again, I am sorry. There are too many podcasts these days. This is HomeKit Insider. You've got me, Andrew O'Hara, here with my pal and fellow Sasquatch tracker, Steve Robles. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. That's a very niche podcast, I have to say. But
it's very specific.
Every topic appeals to somebody, I will say. Do you remember...
Don't take my idea.
No, of course not. Do you remember, when I was a kid, I feel like I remember the 60 Minutes and 2020 shows, like, covering Bigfoot regularly. I feel like that was a common occurrence to see something on TV, right? In that clip of the guy in the suit walking in the woods? I don't know.
Because not everyone had cameras. And cameras were inherently garbage then, so it made sense that there was blurry video and stuff of Bigfoot captured. In Ohio, apparently, I am not a Bigfoot,
proponent
tracker or anything, but there apparently is like a massive it's either in Ohio or south of Ohio, somewhere close by. They have a yearly Bigfoot convention and stuff, and I think it's hilarious. I think that would be great people watching, if anything.
It's pronounced Big's Feet. It's Big's Feet.
Oh, okay.
Like attorneys general. That's what you got to put at the end of something. Anyway,
I like how you pluraled foot and big. It's big, not
that's
Big's
right.
foot.
It's
Big's feet.
I don't know. This is now a Bigfoot podcast for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be watching all the conspiracy theory videos. No, that's not true. Big news. Oh, my goodness. I have to believe it, Andrew, because apparently I have seen it. We have to talk about matter later in this episode. It is real, and it's spectacular, apparently. But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. 2 5-star reviews. Pablock, I think that's from Australia. Thank you. And Guapo CMSV from USA. Thanks for those 5-star reviews. All right. But yeah, before we get to the matter, let's do the little news first, and then we'll geek out about matter. So Ikea, we talked about their new hub, I think a couple episodes ago, but it's official, $60. The Ikea Dirigera. You're going to get me on the pronunciation today. I'm not sure. The Dirigera. I apologize, Ikea, but the hub is coming in November. HomeKit supports Matter, all that good stuff. So you can get that next month. How do you say it? How would you say that, Andrew?
I don't know.
Dirigera?
There's so many. It's probably something like Dirigera. I feel like there's nothing I don't know. It's all weird to me.
You just did a Swedish chef. That was a Swedish chef.
That's perfect. That's exactly right then.
That's what it is. Okay, so there you go. New IKEA hub. Now, Brilliant update. Brilliant makes the panels that they have the HomeKit panels for your wall. I've not gotten any Brilliant stuff. I know you got Brilliant stuff. So what is the update? What new thing they got?
Brilliant has announced that they are now going to integrate with Hunter Douglas shades. So you will be able to control Hunter Douglas shades directly from your Brilliant wall panel. Pretty cool. So I think it's the PowerView 3 that integrates here. Makes it really easy just to control more stuff from that. I think it's like their 24th or 25th integration partner that they have, which is nuts. I'm glad to see them continuing to add this new functionality regularly to these controllers. So pretty sweet if you happen to have Brilliant stuff and Hunter Douglas stuff, which both work with HomeKit.
Yes. Okay. Very cool. I know it's next, but I want to save it because it's too good. The Matter 1.0. We'll get there. Also, Google has some new Nest gear. They announced the new Nest Doorbell. So this is a Google Nest wired doorbell. Records 24 hours a day video. Stores up to 10 days of recordings. Works with the Google Home app, which has been updated as well. So if you're looking for a wired doorbell from Google, they have that. And they also have the Nest Wi-Fi Pro that has 6E. And that's pretty nice because, 6E is the newest standard, at least right now. But, it's all Google stuff. I'm not getting any Google stuff. You getting any Google stuff? I'm
not going to get any Google stuff. But I do like that the doorbell has the 24-hour-a-day recording time. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I do find, so I have the Logitech Circle View doorbell, and I do find it will record clips when I don't really need it to, like when a mosquito flies past the camera. I get a lot of clips of mosquitoes because I live in Florida. And there are other times when it does not record. And like there was, it was late at night the other night, and my wife got home and the car came in, and I just looked to see, like, did it get the recording? And it didn't. It didn't get it. I don't know if it was too dark or if maybe there was a mosquito on the lens, but I do like the idea of 24-hour recording. I wish that was an option with some of the HomeKit secure video stuff. So, yeah, I agree. Also, Dexcom G7. You're going to have to translate this for me, Andrew. I don't know what the Dexcom G7 is. So what are we talking about here?
I'm just really excited about this, and I wanted to throw it in here. I have been waiting a very long time. So the Dexcom Sensor, a lot of people might already be familiar with this because they've been featured on stage by Apple many times throughout its events for iPhone and Apple Watch. But the Dexcom is a continuous glucose monitor for type 1 and type 2 diabetics. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I've been wearing a glucose sensor from Dexcom for years now. And the new G7 is now officially launching. It took a little bit longer to get through some FDA certifications because they have like radically changed things, and it's a big upgrade from the G6, which is the one I've currently got stuck to me right now. The new one is launching in UK, Ireland, Germany, Austria, not Australia, Austria, and Hong Kong first. I believe it's coming to the US beginning of next year for all of us US users. And where we get the Apple connection here is this one is going to be unique because the G6 can only connect to your iPhone. You can run shortcuts and stuff with it, but the new G7 will be able to connect to your Apple Watch as well later in the year after a software update. But that's the cool part. You'll be able to take your, just your watch with you, go out for a run, take phone calls, listen to music, see your blood sugar right there on your wrist, on the face of your watch, and that is awesome. It's been so long coming. I'm really excited about it. So it's not in the US yet, but we at least have an official launch for this new CGM.
That's very cool. Well, that's fun. I'll put a link to the Dexcom global release announcement as well, but pretty cool. All right, here it is, Andrew. Matter 1.0 is official. I don't know exactly what that means, but the Matter said it's
That's
here.
what I wanted to focus on. There were so many people and bad headlines about this that I really wanted to make sure we talked about this and made it clear what this even meant. Like,
I had so many people on Twitter, people DM me on Instagram. They were like, "It's real, believe it. You believe it when you see it." And so I was like, "Oh, Matter, okay." So I went and read all these things, and I was like, "I don't even know what does this? I don't know. What does this mean?" Okay, I don't know what I've seen. So yeah, Andrew, break this down for me. Like, what does it even matter? Pun intended, of this announcement.
Man, I feel like they're regretting that name choice just because of all of the puns.
A lot of puns, very punny.
From tech pundits like us.
Pundits.
Anyway, to be clear what this is. So Matter is, a standard, just like a USB standard, any other wireless standard, stuff like that. And it doesn't just get released and then you have it on your phone. Like it doesn't, do things. They are releasing this as a spec that then manufacturers get to start using to build their products and go through the certification and then bring them to market. So as it stands, Apple still does not officially support Matter fully yet. I believe iOS 16.1 is where we'll see like an actual Matter interface. We're going to see the Matter stuff in settings and all of that information coming together. So Apple is going to more officially support Matter with probably 16.1 when that releases. But with this spec being finalized, basically they're just saying the work has been done. Matter 1.0 is finished. It's now in the hands of manufacturers to start building devices that support it. For hubs to get launched that are going to support it, for accessories to get firmware updates to support it. And the way that it works is the people who are in the CSA who have been like helping develop the spec, they're going to already be like umbrellaed into this. So they've already had access to that spec. They've already been testing it on their devices. They're going to get certification right away for Matter. And then anyone who's not in the CSA but still wants to, develop Matter products, they have access to it now. So previously they did not it could take a long time before we see accessories from some of these companies that aren't in the CSA. So the spec is finalized. Now companies can officially get their products certified for Matter before selling them to all of us. So yes, but I saw like headlines like Matter is officially released and available. It kind of not really to all of everyone. So it's a funny thing, but the spec is finalized. That's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and I think like Thread, which Thread is part of kind of the whole Matter spec. But, we heard about Thread before we ever had Thread devices. And it was like, Thread is going to be amazing. It's going to make connectivity so much faster, reliable, all this kind of stuff. And then it was months and months until we had an actual Thread device, like the Eve HomeKit plug or other, like the HomePod Mini. And then we actually had Thread we could use in our homes. And so, like you said, Matter appeared in 16.1 for like a moment over the summer. If you remember, there was one beta version of iOS 16.1 where you could go to settings and see Matter accessories, like under the general tab. It is not there in the latest betas. So I have my iPad here is running 16.1 developer beta 11. That Matter is gone, but I imagine it will come back pretty soon. And so, like Andrew was saying, this is the spec is now public, official, finalized. Manufacturers can begin testing devices and producing it. When we get the first Matter device, who knows? I feel like my believe it when I see it, my tagline is going to be, here is a device that is a Matter device. Let's say it's some smart plug. And it is not HomeKit, but it is Matter. And because it's Matter, it should be able to integrate with my home, Apple Home, because my Apple devices support Matter. That will be like, I think for me, I'm still going to hold out for that moment to say I believe it when I see it. When I can hold a plug in my hand and says, here's a Matter plug with a Matter UPC or a QR code style thing, and I can add it with the Home app, and that device is in my Home app just like all my other HomeKit stuff because of Matter. I feel like that's when it is. I feel like the more exciting moment.
I think
really,
it
when
is
the device is launched, right?
When Apple officially sends out the update. Like when you get an update that says like HomePod update 16.1, this update brings support for Matter. And like, because even if there's like an accessory released, it won't matter until Apple is like updates its devices. So when I see like in release notes Matter as a thing, when you open the Home app and there's like
Matter.
One of those modals that they do that explains there's now support for Matter. You can check out Matter accessories and use them with HomeKit or with Apple Home. But that will be real for me. Even if I don't have a product in hand, as soon as Apple supports it on the HomeKit side, that'll count for me.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good call. So, yes, it's exciting, I guess. It is like official, kind of. And I guess the Matter Alliance and the CSA, Connectivity Standards Alliance, can say Matter launched when they said. They said it was going to be later this year, and it is now officially launched. And so now it's just a matter of time before we see a device that supports Matter and iOS to have that Matter thing in there, which I'm curious. I'm curious what that whole process is going to be like and what it's like pairing
my
Matter
understanding
thing.
in the demos
that
I've witnessed, that's it.
We'll see.
You're going to have a Matter accessory. You're going to open the Home app, scan the code. It's going to get added in alongside everything else. The weird stuff that we saw in that random beta that was like, oh, you need your profile and things like that. I don't think that's going to come to a public thing. I don't even know if that Matter thing is going to show up actually in settings or if they're just going to have something inside of the Home app that designates Matter versus native Apple Home stuff. That'll be interesting, but it should be that easy to add accessories.
Right. Which, now that you said that, there's not even a home settings panel in the settings app. I was just looking now because they put it under that general in that one beta, and I was like, why wouldn't they put it under the home thing? But it's because there is no home.
You have to go
in the settings app at all.
Toggle.
There's no
but
no
you
home
can go
settings.
like iCloud and enable
I guess
the
it's
HomeKit
all
stuff, but that's all you have in settings for home.
Right. Right. So, anyway, all right. Well, that's Matter. It will. It's coming. It's here, and we'll see when new devices are coming. So, But here's what really matters, Andrew. What matters is your shower experience. That's what truly matters. Because you're there every day, hopefully, ideally. You're in there, you're showering, and you want to have an excellent shower experience. That's what really matters, Andrew. And in order to have a great shower experience,
the fact that you made it that far
spa shower
with just a straight face,
that might have taken the
without
kick.
laughing of your transition.
Oh man, wow, man, Nebbia, you are welcome. That felt like the one. That was the one. Listen, you guys know I love Nebbia stuff. Listen, you get the Nebbia by Moen Spa Shower. It's advanced, made by previous Apple, NASA, and Tesla engineers. Saved 45% water. You save water, but you have an 81% more powerful spray than the competition. And the Nebbia by Moen Spa Shower, it's beautifully designed. It's height adjustable. You get the magic wand thing. Your shower experience matters. So do not settle for that other shower experience. Get the Nebbia by Moen Spa Shower. It's like a spa-like experience. Andrew can attest.
Yeah,
he's basically taking a spa experience every day.
Nebbia by Moen matters. You'll believe it when you feel it. It's...
Oh!
That was it. I don't got anything
that
else.
Was
it's
it.
Just really, it's
that
a really
sealed
great
the deal.
shower.
That was it. Oh, my goodness. Well, that was more than enough. Great shower, great quick dry earth mat, which I love. I used a Nebbia towel earlier today. I use all the Nebbia stuff. Listen, Nebbia My Own Spa Shower, you get it in 4 different colors: white and chrome, spot resistant nickel, matte black, or black and chrome. And they have other sustainable bath accessories, like I just said. Quick dry earth mat, shower shelf. You can put little loofahs on there, everything. It takes like less than 15 minutes to install. Piece of cake. You're going to love it. So upgrade your bathroom experience, because that's what matters. You'll believe it when you feel it. I think we're just giving them taglines left and right. This is amazing. The Nebbia by Moen Spa Shower starts at just $199, and for HomeKit Insider listeners, we have the deal, Nebbia.com/HomeKit. Use that promo code HomeKit at checkout to get 10% off all Nebbia products. That quick dry earth mat, the towels, shower shelf, everything. And Nebbia doesn't do sales with everybody else. They do it with the HomeKit Insider team. So it's a great deal to jump on. Go to Nebbia.com/HomeKit. Nebia.com/HomeKit. Check out what they have to offer and save 10% with promo code HomeKit. HomeKit. Now, another thing that matters, Andrew, because I'm very excited to hear your review for this next product. It was long rumored, long anticipated, and now you have it in hand. You have tested it. You've done the full review, and I may or may not buy it on air as we record this episode, depending on how well you review it.
Yeah,
tell me about the Sonos
Sonos Sub Mini. There's a whole video review that you guys can go check out, watch it, listen to it, read it. We got that too. But I was very impressed with the Sonos Sub Mini. I really like it. So I have I have all of the Sonos soundbars. Okay, so I've got like the Beam in my studio. I've got the Arc in our living room. I have the Ray in like our workout space kind of area, and I tested with all 3 of them. The primary one that I wanted this for was the Arc, and it's very specifically not the one that Sonos says you should use it with. They're like, this is designed for the Ray and for the Beam. I'm like, but I have the Arc, and they're like, it's designed for the Ray and the Beam. I'm like, okay. I'm going to do it anyway. And it does work. It pairs everything like that. They say do not listen to it at like a max volume. It's not like strong enough for like the highest volume of the Arc. And if you have a very large room, then the Sub Mini won't be enough either. But I still went ahead and tried it because I'm not turning my Arc up all the way. Sure. It's very loud. And there's still not a ton of bass in the Arc itself. So I'm like, even if this gives me like a little more bass, it's got to be better, right? And I was shocked at how much better it was. It really does rumble. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's still Sonos, right? So it's not like it's a bad one or a cheap one, anything like that. It's still a very high quality sound bar compared to most of the other ones, or not soundbar, but a subwoofer, compared to most other ones that come bundled with a soundbar. So it does really sound great. I played a bunch of games. I've been playing Subnautica recently. I don't know if you've heard of Subnautica, but it's an underwater game. You're under the water. And when you're underwater, there's like all those like rumblings, right? Like you're just like kind of deep rumblings of deep into the darkness. And it's a little terrifying.
Sure,
you're like, you know, you're down there in like a submarine or something. And before, like you'd have a creature attacking. It's like, creature. But now you like feel it. Now it like something just comes out of nowhere and attacks you and you don't know it. And then you feel like that rumble at the same time. And it almost feels like just, you know, in your chest as it's rumbling. And it's really cool. Of course, the big soundbar or the big subwoofer sounds louder, sounds better, all of that. This sounds amazing. It's almost like volume is the biggest difference here. It's great. Wireless setup. They have NFC pairing, so you just turn this thing on, plug it in. It immediately shows up in the Sonos app. You tap the top of it to pass over your Wi-Fi credentials. It communicates directly to your soundbar wirelessly. There is an Ethernet port on the bottom if you want to add it to your network that way. I think it looks really great. I like the white one because it's got like this two-tone finish, like white on the outside, and there's like a black in that cavity in the middle. They're dual 6-inch woofers. They face one another, so those are like force-canceling woofers, which is what Apple uses in their laptops. So when you have loud volumes, your laptop doesn't like shake on your desk. They basically face each other, so the forces cancel each other out, and it doesn't like rock around or anything like that. It's a subwoofer, so there's not like a ton of like features and settings stuff to tinker with, but it sounds great. It definitely adds to the experience, whether you have the Ray, the Beam, or the Arc. Probably better for the cheaper of the two, but you're still spending that much money. I mean, it's more expensive than the Ray is, and it's almost as much as the Beam. So it's still not cheap, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I'm looking at your pictures right now, and we actually had Simon send us a picture. He just got one. He tweeted us a picture of the box. The box it comes in looks fairly large, and I'm looking at the pictures of it next to your kind of TV setup. For something that's called mini, I mean, it seems like it's actually a pretty, like, significant... Oh, there it is. There's the box. Yeah, so, I mean, it's smaller, but the Sonos subwoofer, the Gen 3... It seems like it might be the same height. You know, the Gen 3 subwoofer is just wider. It's more like a square rather than this cylindrical shape. Would you say this is like
a little? I think a little bit larger. It's about a foot tall,
Pro? Maybe a little larger. It's got to be larger, right?
Like that big. It is big.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, because it's a cylindrical shape, you know, it's compact. Do they suggest, or does it matter? Do you know, like, if it has to be kind of up with the TV next to the soundbar, or could you put this like elsewhere in the room, like in a different corner?
If it was me, I would put this behind. I would put this like behind my couch. Like if I had the option, we have like an open backed room. Like our TV is like in front of us, and then like the kitchen and dining room are behind us. So I don't have like a back wall, which makes things like bouncing off arc and everything for, you know, spatial audio, Dolby Atmos stuff, more difficult because it can't hit that back wall to bounce and get those like effects behind you as easily. But there shouldn't be any issues where you place this in the room. You can still use the True Play setup stuff, which works on iOS, so you can tune it to the room that you're in. But that shouldn't be a problem at all. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would put it like behind the couch. Like if I had a normal room, I would tuck this in a corner or something, behind the couch, out of the way a little bit, and have it there. But it shouldn't matter.
Now, you said it's not as effective with music. Do you think it's just because it doesn't have the same thumping that a larger subwoofer might, or what was like?
Yeah, I was immediately like a little disappointed.
I was
a lot of disappointed when I pulled it up for music, and I'm like listening to songs that usually have like a thumping bass line. A few Queen songs, "Come Together" by the Beatles, and there's usually just the like really low ends coming in, and I just didn't feel like there was a lot of it, and I was worried. It was like, man, this thing is subtle. It's real subtle. How much bass? Like I could tell it was there, but it wasn't substantial. Like I wasn't feeling it, and I think it's just the mastering of the songs. I don't know if it's
sure.
I think it just differs versus watching like a movie or a TV show where there's an explosion or something like that. Like I think just your explosions are going to have like, you know, this much bass. Music and stuff is going to have like medium bass. So I just don't think it was. It's just not what it was like kind of designed for. I think it's mainly here for movies, TV shows, stuff like that, games. that is where it shined. Like as soon as I put on a TV show or even just like football or something, and there's like thunder, I'm like, holy crap! Like you feel like you're more like in the stadium. Like you feel like the rumbling that you would feel if you were there. It's just so much more immersive with it. And I noticed such a big difference when my TV, for some reason, decides to use its internal speakers instead of the soundbar plus the subwoofer. Like I noticed it before. I'm like, this isn't the soundbar. This doesn't sound as good.
Sure.
And now it's like, instantly because there's just no bass comparatively.
Sure. And so you have the Beam. I mean, it's a significant difference, I assume, Beam without subwoofer, Beam with sub mini. Because that's a specific one.
I mean, I think it's a big difference on the
significant difference,
and it's an even bigger difference when you're looking at the Beam and the Ray. And the way the Sonos stuff works is they're able to offset the lower frequencies then to the subwoofer and focus the main drivers in the soundbar on your mids and your highs. So things like your vocals and dialogue is able to come through even more. It's able to expand on that frequency a little bit more than it could when it had to handle the low range at the same time. So I think just overall better performance for everything. Your mids and your highs sound better. Now you have this beefy low end. Like all of it sounds better, and especially on the Beam. The Beam sounds great. It sounds really good, but so much better with the subwoofer.
Okay. Okay, this is interesting.
What's your reservation?
I'm not buying it right now. I'm not going to buy it right now. I might actually wait. So I would be getting this for a bedroom. And really the only time I watch something in the bedroom is late at night. And it would make for a better viewing experience, but I'm also like, don't want to loud rumbling in the middle of the night that might like disturb the kids.
And you have night mode.
But I know, you could turn it down, but I think I want to buy. Right, I want to buy it. I think from like a Best Buy or something. So if I want to return it, I know I could return it easily from Amazon and Sonos and ship it back. But I think I want to buy it from like a Best Buy so I can just like bring it back to a store and not worry about shipping it because it's pretty big. But I don't know. And it would also, so in the room that I would put it in the bedroom, TV's on the wall with the Beam right underneath it, the Sonos Beam. And I would put the subwoofer in like a back corner of the room, which is the same wall that the bed is against, but it'd be pretty far off to the side, probably like not 10 feet. It's like 6 feet, in the corner, and like also like under a shelf kind of thing. And so I'm curious how it would perform in that kind of constrained environment with that placement. Because I really just don't want it where the TV is, like the wall, there's nothing on that wall. And so it'd be weird to just have like a random subwoofer on that wall. I think
there's people who probably have a preference to that.
What it sounds like in the corner,
me,
but
I don't care. Like
I don't know.
The subwoofer isn't it's not directional. Like the subwoofer right now is off to the left side. I don't hear like the subwoofer off. I'm like, and like look to the corner. It just feels like it's in the room. Like I don't know how else to describe it. But it's not. It feels like it's from everywhere. So I would not care if I put it in a corner or anything like that. It's going to send out those waves regardless.
Sure. And yeah, subwoofer waves, like you were saying, low frequencies are non-directional, so it shouldn't matter where you put it in the room, but I don't know. Okay, we'll see. Supposedly, I could pick it up like next Wednesday at a local Best Buy, or no, you can order from like B&H and Sonos directly right now. It's not on Amazon just yet, but we'll see. Okay, good review. Check out Andrew's article. Check out the video. That link will be in show notes. Do want to talk about something from the Pixel event with you, and then you snuck in another topic. So we're going to get to that right after we thank our last sponsor for today. Thank you to Collide. Listen, the challenge with endpoint security has been it's always difficult to scale. And then remote work took over, and that challenge got exponentially harder. You need visibility into your fleet of devices in order to meet security goals, reduce service desk tickets, and how you get that visibility when different parts of your company run on Mac, Windows, Shutter, and Linux. Well, here's how you do it. You get Collide. Collide is an endpoint security solution that gives IT teams a single dashboard for all devices, regardless of their operating system. Collide gives you real-time access to your fleet's data, and you can do things that traditional mobile device managers can't. And instead of installing intrusive agents or locking down devices, Collide takes a user-focused approach that communicates security recommendations to your employees directly via Slack. So cool. You can answer every question you have about your fleet without intruding on your workforce. So visit collide.com/HomeKit to find out how. And when you go to that link, they'll hook you up with a goodie bag of free stuff just for activating a free trial. Free stuff, free goodie bag with a free trial. Go to collide.com, KOLIDE.com/HomeKit for that free goodie bag. That link is in the show notes as well. Thanks, Collide.
Well,
and then what did you sneak in here?
So you and I, we never got to really talk about the Watch Ultra at all.
That's
like, I know this is not HomeKit related, and I'm probably going to get some comments about it, but I had something fun to share. And so first I wanted to get your general thoughts on your Watch Ultra, if you kept it, and then something to show off. Wow. And a sound effect to go with.
So there's the Ultra. I'm showing it on the video. I've been loving the Ultra. I love the battery life. I love the screen. It does feel like it has a little larger bezels than like the Series 7 and 8, but with the battery life, with the design, I mean, it is bigger, but I have big arms. Like, it does not look, abnormally large on me. I really like everything about it. And when I put my Series 7 on after wearing the Ultra for a couple weeks, the Series 7 feels small. And I got the 45 millimeter one. Like, it's the big one, but it feels like almost too small now. And so I love the Ultra. I'm keeping it and love the battery life. The flashlight feature was actually great during the hurricane because I had to go turn on a generator when we lost power. It was outside. It was dark. I forgot my phone inside. It was raining. Didn't want to go all the way back inside. And so using the flashlight on this thing, I know it's a silly feature to talk about, but the 2000 nit brightness screen on this thing, it was pretty great. And so using it at night in the dark, Apple Watch Ultra was great for that. I have swam with it multiple times in the pool, and it's great. The action button is great, being able to start like a swimming workout without having to touch the screen, because you can't touch the screen very well once it's wet.
For the most part,
I really like
it.
How about what about you?
I'm still getting used to some things. I find myself, the edges are, like the bezel edges are almost like sharp, and I end up it scratched my table. Like I'm sitting here like holding an iPhone like for a camera, and I move my arm back, and it just scratched my work table. So it's a little sharp there. The action button I like, but it also is kind of annoying. I usually would squeeze my phone or squeeze the watch to press the crown or the side button, and now your action button's there, so you have to reposition or lower to not hit the action button. And I've seen so many people on Twitter be like, it's called action button for a reason. It gets a lot of action getting inadvertently pressed all the time. And I had to change mine because, it kept starting a water workout. And then when it starts a water workout, it locks your screen. So then I had hold digital crown to stop, to access the screen and then stop the workout. So it was almost, that was really annoying. So I had to change it from that pretty quickly to just open the workout app to make it quicker that way. And it just basically gets rid of the shortcut I used to have on the home screen, or the complication to jump into workout right away.
Right.
The digital crown.
Have you noticed, by the way, the annoying thing, to unlock the watch, either when it's in sleep mode or when it's gotten wet, you have to hold the crown now instead of rolling the dial?
It's been like that for old versions of the Apple Watch too, so not just the Ultra.
Yeah. I don't like it. Do you? No, I know, but
maybe a little bit. They both kind of felt slow, but it was kind of hard to rotate the digital crown so much. It was almost like a lot of scrolling to do it. Yeah, but with the digital crown, it's kind of awkwardly placed that I would normally scroll forward, and now that's where there's a bump. Now I can't. So you have a very narrow spot, very narrow, that you can actually roll the digital crown. So I think it's a little awkward too. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm really excited to actually go scuba diving with it, and for the Oceanic Plus app to come out. But I don't know. I've just got little hesitation. I like it a lot. Battery life has been great. It makes me feel a lot easier at mine, not having to charge it as much. For sleep tracking or thing, I easily get 2 nights of sleep plus a full day of use with still 30% left to spare to mostly get through even another day without having to worry about it. But yeah, just those weird those could just be solved from using it and getting used to the button placements and stuff like that. But the fun thing.
Sure. So what is this fake?
I want you to check
You find
out.
a guy in the street who's like, "Hey, it's your Apple Watch Ultra, here."
Cameras love
What is
our
this?
eyes, and like it's just such a pain in the butt to try to focus on anything else on these videos. That's not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You like that? You like this?
There we go.
You know what this is to?
Is that Isha? Oh my word! You have to go to youtube.com/HomeKit Insider.
Oh yeah.
Andrew is showing something that looks a lot like an Apple Watch Ultra, but is definitely even the activity rings look like the legit thing.
This right here.
What am I looking at here, Andrew? This is a weird looking thing.
The screen was only on for like a half a second, which makes it really annoying to interface with. And all the menus are in Chinese, so I can't actually do anything to change it to stay all the brightness on longer. But yeah,
Wow.
This is just called Watch Ultra from Kiwi Time. I've got a yeah. Here's my box for my Watch Ultra.
Wow.
Kiwi Time. Kiwi Time.
It even looks like an Apple Watch box. Kiwi Time.
Watch.
What in the
Watch
world?
Ultra. Yeah,
How are they able
thing.
to rip
It's
it
also
off
not
so
focused.
close?
Watch
It
Ultra.
even has a little folded paper thing.
Supervision. You need supervision to use this, apparently.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, it can't be a real thing. I mean,
This has got to be illegal,
yeah,
right?
look at this. These are
I mean,
all
this has gotta be
looks like
illegal.
Apple graphics. Even got Apple's like bands on there. I'm calling shenanigans for sure.
What in the world?
Strongest. this charger.
That's crazy. That's
knockoff
crazy talk.
Apple Watch charger.
That's
But it's
crazy
USB-A.
talk.
Come on, if you're gonna make,
Just like,
I don't know.
Does it
doesn't
actually-
do the same. It doesn't do the same.
does
It's
it
got,
pair?
I don't know if these are real. I don't know. I don't know if these are real sensors on the back or not. Yeah, or just freaking lights. Yeah, it could just be literally nothing.
Or just lights? It's just LED
they
lights.
close it so much. It's insane.
Wow.
It comes
That's
with
so
this,
weird.
totally not fake Apple Sport Loop or something going on. But yeah, if you're gonna knock off the watch,
Banned.
give me USB-C. Okay,
Wow.
Kiwi Time.
That's
On
something.
your next version of your Watch Ultra, I want USB-C.
Kiwi Time.
That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
What?
But yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. I got this. Mike
Kiwi Time.
sent this over to me. He found it online somewhere, and he's like, "Buy this now." I'm like,
That's
"On
hilarious.
it." So
Wow. That's I mean, the audacity. I mean, I have to imagine. Andrew's about to
the
show
screen
both
drives me
watches side by
crazy
side.
that it
It's definitely
just keeps
smaller than
turning
the
off
real
on
Apple Watch
me.
Ultra.
Like, stop
A lot smaller.
doing that.
You get the Wayfinder face.
I know, it's awesome.
It looks so
It's so
close.
cool.
That's
It's so
ridiculous.
cool.
That's insane, Andrew. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
I mean,
Steven,
even the app
for this
the app
amazing piece
browser
of
and that
tech,
honeycomb thing looks just like the Apple.
how
thing.
much would you
Crazy.
expect to pay for a
Wow.
Watch Ultra, the most
Yeah.
advanced watch from Kiwi Time ever? How much money? Like $40.
Is it $50?
Yeah, $40.
It was $40. That ain't sensors on the bottom.
Oh my God,
there are
Steve,
no
I
sensors on that. Zero sensors.
I can't. There's no way
There's
the camera be
zero
able to
sensors.
focus. On the back of this, they have like
This is insane.
the screws. I'm still like in frame a little bit, and it's like hating on me. There's these little screws, Steven. They're pictures. They're just little pictures. They're not actual screws. Those are just.
Yeah.
Those are pictures of screws.
No, they're not actual screws. Oh my word, Andrew! I don't even know how that has got to be illegal. I mean, there's got to be at least one Apple lawyer on this.
Oh,
Wow, Kiwi
it's
Time.
amazing.
It's
It's amazing. Yeah.
shameless. Okay,
They got this out so fast.
You have
and what I
no-
think is hilarious, it's not like they must
Wow,
have gotten
that
like
is something.
schematics and
Okay.
stuff like well ahead of time, would be my guess. And if they have these schematics ahead of time, so they knew what it looked like and everything, they were like,
Right.
you know what? Let's just make it a little bit smaller though. Like they actually changed them to make it smaller than the Apple Watch Ultra for whatever reason.
right. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I would love to travel there one day and just see all the copies.
I've talked to so many case manufacturers and accessory makers at like CES, and the stories are wild. And I've heard of so many. I don't want to like slander any companies because who knows what's true and what's not true anyway. But like so many of these kind of new startup brands, not like necessarily like in the Apple space, but like some of these that are coming out with like a gadget, like, you know, I'm trying to think a massage gun or something. And they just started like on the streets of like, you know, China. And they're like, hey, can you make me 1 million of those and put this logo on it? And I'm not even talking about like white labeling a product. They're just like seeing a gun, like, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I'll buy your inventory, and they'll brand it, get the packaging, and then put a bunch of money behind marketing. And you've done nothing but take these little off-brand products and blow it up. And you can still go there and buy the exact same things without the logos just on the streets. Like some companies are entirely built on that. And it's really cool. It's really neat and brilliant for these people to go over there, see a product that's unique and not sold here in the US, and then just blow it up.
Sure. That's hilarious. Well, you should go check out the video of this week's episode just to see that fake Apple Watch, because that thing was hilarious. And real quick, before we go, I wanted to get your thoughts. The Pixel event was earlier today as we record. And of all the things they announced, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to try and be fancy and actually like share a picture of this thing. Let's see if it works. It doesn't look like it's working. But anyway, this is the Pixel tablet stand.
You know, I've been busy
happen to see this at all in the event?
More videos out, so I haven't seen it. Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, I want it.
Okay. Here it is. So they announced a Pixel stand, but here's the thing. The tablet doesn't come out till next year, 2023. This stand is a speaker and wireless charger for the Pixel tablet. And they are saying, because everybody uses their tablets at home, that's the main use case, that they want you to be able to put your Pixel tablet on this stand. It will be charging whenever it's on the stand. And then if you play music or video, you'll get good audio because the stand is also a speaker. And if you just look at this for a second, you know, we talked about the rumors about the HomePod with a screen, maybe being like a home control device. Like, this is basically that, but you can also take the tablet off the stand and then just use it as a tablet and then just magnetically, wirelessly put it back on the stand and charge it. You know, with Google software, like, obviously I'm not interested in this for myself, but the idea that you have a stand that's a charger, that's a speaker, I don't know. I feel like that's a decent idea. I think it looks
really interesting. I don't know if I like it better or worse than a dedicated device, because you have to rely on you putting it there. And like, okay, what if I'm using my iPad, my wife's in the kitchen baking, and she wants to pull up a recipe or check the weather? Like, now all of a sudden that smart speaker ability is gone because I'm using my iPad. Things like that would be weird use cases. But I really like the idea of it. We also heard that Apple is working on the magnetic, basically bringing like MagSafe type stuff to iPad. So, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. That was from the Pixel event.
They could.
Again, that's not coming out till next year.
The one way that I think this would work,
I don't know. Maybe we'll get something HomePod before the end of the year.
The base has to be a full-fledged smart speaker on its own. It's got to be a HomePod Mini on its own without the device attached. And then it'll like convert your iPad to a smart display when you put it on there.
Correct.
And do all of that. But I would want the speaker to be operational, used for AirPlay, all of that by itself. So that way it still has a function instead of just sitting there as a charger. And act as a home hub. Because especially in HomeKit, we're going to need that as a home hub, that it would need to be that. So if Apple was going this route, I think that would be my requirement.
Right. It's not super clear. It does. Google says that it has hands-free help with Google Assistant, but I don't know if that's just when the tablet is attached or if when it's on its own. But I mean, once it's actually out, this will probably be next year. But I think it's interesting. It's an interesting deal. So Anyway, check out youtube.com/HomeKit Insider this week so you can see Andrew's fake Apple Watch Ultra, which is incredible. And I actually showed a picture of that Pixel tablet charging stand. I think I managed to make that work. So check it out there. Give us a 5-star rating review. You can follow us on Twitter. Send us your HomeKit questions and projects and anything new that you're excited about and what really matters. Let us know. One last time.
See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you the next time. It really matters. Bye. Matter.